The Gilded Shadow. In the year 1404, London was a city of fog and secrets. Deep beneath a cobbler's shop, Aurelio stirred a bubbling pot of mercury. He was an apprentice to the ancient arts, learning the language of metals and the breath of fire. Beside him, Master Valerius watched with silver eyes, his hands stained with the soot of 1,000 experiments. They weren't just making medicine, they were chasing the ultimate dream, the creation of gold. The heavy thud of a gauntlet against their wooden door shattered the silence. Aurelio opened it to find Sir Alistair, a knight of the King's Guard, holding a scroll sealed with blood-red wax. "By order of King Henry IV," the knight barked, his voice echoing in the narrow alley. "The Act of Multipliers has been passed. From this day forth, the multiplication of gold and silver is a felony. Any man caught attempting to create precious metals shall be treated as a common thief, or worse." When the knight left, the basement felt colder. Master Valerius began frantically clearing the tables. "They fear us, Aurelio," he whispered, his voice trembling. "The king's coffers are empty from the wars. If we succeed in making gold, his currency becomes worthless. A king cannot rule if every peasant has a mountain of treasure in his cellar." They began wrapping their most precious glass vials in old rags, hiding the tools of their forbidden trade. That night, Aurelio could not sleep. He crept back to the workbench and pulled a hidden scroll from a hollowed-out beam. It was a formula for the sun's breath, a powder that Master Valerius claimed could turn lead into pure, shining gold. The law said this knowledge was a crime, but to Aurelio it felt like a miracle. He lit a single candle, the flame dancing in his wide, curious eyes. "Is it wrong to want to know the secrets of the world?" Aurelio asked the next morning. Master Valerius was busy painting the laboratory walls with lime to hide the chemical stains. "The law does not care for knowing, Aurelio. It cares for power," the master replied. He handed the boy a heavy lead ingot. "To the king, this is a weight. To us, it is a riddle. But for now, we must pretend we have forgotten how to ask the questions." A week later, Sir Alistair returned for an inspection. He didn't come alone. His boots crunched on the floorboards as he poked his sword into the dark corners of the workshop. He stopped in front of Master Valerius, his eyes narrowing. "I smell sulfur and vinegar, old man. These are the scents of a multiplier." He grabbed the master by his tunic, pulling him close. "Tell me where you have hidden the furnace." Aurelio stepped forward, his heart hammering against his ribs. He held out a small, heavy bag he had prepared. "It is only for the tanning of leather, sir," he lied, his voice remarkably steady. Sir Alistair let go of the master and snatched the bag from Aurelio. He opened it, spilling a shower of dull, gray lead pellets into his palm. "Lead," the knight spat, sounding disappointed. "Worthless junk. See that it stays that way." Once the guards had retreated, the two alchemists sat on the floor, surrounded by the silence of their empty workshop. The threat of the gallows had passed, but the weight of the new law remained. "We cannot work here anymore," Aurelio said softly. Master Valerius nodded, reaching into his pocket to pull out a single, tiny grain of something that shimmered like a fallen star. "The king can ban the metal, but he cannot ban the mind." They spent the following months transforming their laboratory into a study of plants and stars, a legal front for their deeper work. Under the light of the moon, Master Valerius showed Aurelio how to find the same patterns in a crystal that they once sought in the crucible. "True alchemy," the master whispered, "is the transformation of the self. Gold is just a shiny distraction for kings. Knowledge is the only metal that never rusts." The Act of Multipliers would remain law for nearly 300 years, but it never stopped the seekers. Aurelio picked up a quill and began to write, coding their discoveries into poems and riddles that only another alchemist could understand. They were no longer making gold for the market. They were preserving the light of science for a future that hadn't yet arrived. The gold remained hidden, but the truth was free.